Dear Vice Rector, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for me as Vice President of this university to welcome you in this virtual environment where we can apparently bridge the gaps easily, because as you can see, these signals, visual signals, travel through small wires to the other side of the world, and we can talk to each other and we can even discuss things, which is very important, I would say. I'm sorry that I cannot talk to you in Spanish. I know some words and I can understand some words, but it's better for you that I don't try to speak Spanish, because then you wouldn't understand anything at all. This university, the KULeuven, is an university that is interested in bridging cultures. And how we do that is by trying to be an international university. And I will come to that later on. I will give a short presentation about what the KULeuven is and how we can be present at the international scene. I think that this international setting, where students meet each other, where they can talk to each other, is one of the key elements in the success for bridging cultures. Now, as you can see on this slide, the KULeuven is already an old university. It's not too old. It's a nice old lady sometimes, that's what they tell us, but it's a lady that also still has a lot of potential, still has a lot of youth in it. We were founded in 1425, and interestingly, the Dutch courts started only in 1911. And another important fact, that was in 1970, there was a split of this university in the Dutch-speaking part, and that's where we are right now. And in the French-speaking part, a French-speaking university, now the UCL, located at about 30 kilometers from here, and that also is a very big university. They also have almost 30,000 students, so it's what we call our sister university. And as I already told Ms. Ambassador, we are in the midst of trying to cooperate to go to Latin America and to get this bond even firmer and be sure that we will have a good cooperation. So that's an interesting additional asset, I would say. We are, we are the largest university in Flanders at the time being, and we have three core missions. And this is something that is, let's say, the same almost for every university. We have a very important goal in scientific research. We are a research intensive and comprehensive university, We put a lot of stress and attention on academic education, must be innovative, as you can see, and we also had this Bologna reform, which makes that, of course, for students, and that's very important, all over Europe you have the same system now, which adds to the way that you can enter Europe and that you will find the same things in higher education all over Europe. The third important part of our mission is service to society, and I think we should not forget that. This is a very important part of our being, of what we really want to be. And as I already mentioned, we have a very strong international orientation, and this is a deliberate orientation. This is not just because we want to be fancy. It is because we think that being international is university, you are international or you are not a university. Now, to locate Leuven in Belgium, and I always use this same idea that, as you can see, Leuven is in the center of Belgium, and you know that Belgium is in the center of Europe, and you know that Europe is in the center of the world. So if you want to come to a very important university, you have to come to Leuven, of course. This is just for joking a little bit, you will obviously understand that. But Brussels is very close, and that's an asset as well for a number of students. And we show you on this map distances in kilometers, Brussels is at 30 kilometers from here. So, Mr. Ambassador, you could easily come by car. That makes it easy to come to our university, and we welcome you in the next few weeks to have a more intense meeting. You can go to Paris in 2 hours traveling time by train. You can go to Amsterdam, to London, Berlin, So actually you are in a location where you are in the midst of Europe, and this is a very important asset for students, of course, because they want to know what Europe is all about, this European culture, and you want to see what's happening there. If I consider Leuven then as a town, and Leuven is not one of these big towns, as you can find all over the world. It's a city of about 90,000 people, and take the 32 or 33,000 students as an extra, then you can imagine that this is really a town and gown idea, that we have students all over the place, so it makes that sometimes during night, at 3 o'clock at night, you have still a lot of activity in the city, but that makes it a very safe city in Leuven. So also from that perspective, my dear students, Leuven has a number of interesting things to offer you. And you can see here the different faculties, how they are spread all over the town. We have 2 campuses, but also in the town itself, you will find a lot of old buildings where we still have the new professors that teach you very new materials. Excuse me. Yes, research. One of the most important parts of the core business, I have already told you, is research, and we have a special research coordination office where we try to organize the fundamental and applied research. This is part of the business, of course. We have a follow-up of about 4,000 projects through that research coordination office, and as you can see on the slide, biotechnology, environment, medical research, and so on. Nanotechnology, of course, this is one of the highlights of this time, is studied at this university at a very high level. We also, and that's very important, have a KULeuven Research and Development Organization where we try to transfer knowledge to society. And you know that this is big business, of course, over the last decades that we have seen it, that you cannot just keep your knowledge to yourself, but you have to take it to society and make sure that you have something extra, an added value of knowledge for the human beings that live with us and around us. So spin-off system, research parks, this is something that you can find in our university as well.